What's happening, everybody? JR Raymond here with BowlerX.com, and I'm inside BowlerX Pro Shop and Training Center in Waterford, Michigan at beautiful Waterford lanes, where today we're going to take an obsession tour out on the lanes on a typical, I think it's a 40-foot pattern here, but it's a lot of volume because it's trying to fight the early friction. There's a lot of early friction in this place. The surface here is a little beat up, so he puts 30 units out there on 40 feet. So loads it up in the front. So a lot of bowling balls struggle to get through there quite a bit. But we have an obsession tour that I threw a little bit the other night, and it looked really good. Just a 4.5-inch pen. It is 40 by 4.5 by 40, and it looks really good out there. And I'm going to take it out here on a fresh pattern and see what it's got here in a minute. So stay tuned. All right, we're going to start with this obsession tour, and we did that typical 40 by 4.5 by 40, which put the pen directly above my bridge, mass bias a couple inches right of the thumb, but we're going to try and start a little straighter. We're on that beat up surface, fresh condition, but this surface is early friction. And I threw this ball a little bit the other night, yesterday and a couple nights ago, just because it was, I drilled it fresh and I wanted to practice a little bit. And I was surprised by how good this ball was in this place. I think because it's that lower diff ball, even though it's asymmetric, it's got that lower differential that allows the ball to, it doesn't flare nearly as much, and it stores a little bit more energy. So I see a little bit of pop down lane. So I'm going to move 3 left now, and let's see if we can get it to go do the right thing. Yeah, I love the way this ball picks up. It reads the middle of the lane exactly how it's supposed to. It's not seeing the front part of the lane like some of the other balls did. That track kinetic ball, the platinum, it saw that, you know, right just past the arrow is a little bit too hard. Made it smooth out in the back. Now let's get in here to 14, 15 and see what it's going to do. Ooh, bad balance. Yeah, but it's still smoothed out in that middle part of the lane. Popped a little bit too much down lane. It's probably a result of bad balance. Trying to get my left arm under control, not just leave it hanging so much, not let it whip back behind me, but not leave it out in front of me too long. I'm gonna try and throw that shot again with better balance. And I missed right. But she gets up and goes. And that's the difference, where with that, when you see some of the other bowling balls like that, I keep using the kinetic because it was the first ball I did in this building that was super duper smooth. It wouldn't make that recovery from there. This one does. This one really likes to use that early friction. So this is a reason why you need the lower differential balls. If you've got a super high friction building, then this is the way to go. I'm gonna move 5 more left. I'm gonna go 3 left, 5 and 3. Splits the 8-9, that's always a good sign. And again, enough pop down lane, even though it's a low diff ball. The cover is strong enough, everything else is strong enough to get it to go through the pins the right way. High friction surface, you probably need this. Let's go 3 more left. This time 3 and 1. Ooh, starting to get a little lazy there, so we're gonna have to get around at a pinch. Come on, buddy. Okay, as soon as I'm done, we'll go play a couple games, okay? So now let's try that same area. I'm just gonna get my hand around it a little bit more. See if it gets it to pop down lane. It did a little bit. Still the same result, but it was pretty close to the same thing, or pretty close to a little bit better result. Not quite where we want it. So that means we got to get a little bit stronger. So, and this isn't going to be, buddy, it is 407. So I'm gonna try that same thing. I'm just gonna try to get it going more forward. See if that makes the result better in this building. Yep. So, I mean, which makes sense in this place. We got early friction. So we got to blend out that early friction. We don't want it to use up its energy early. It goes into that conversation we had the other night. That's not going to go down, bud. Leave that alone. Leave it alone. Five more left. 5 and 3. This ball is ridiculously good. As ugly as it is because it's poop brown, still a super, super good, strong reaction ball as far as on high friction surfaces. Now it's probably gonna look way different down on the other end on the HPLs because it's a cleaner surface. So it's gonna look closer to like what an IQ Tour does down there, I bet. It's gonna just be, you know, like 3 feet cleaner down lane. There's a couple more left here. And I jammed it left. Another opportunity to make a spare. Just see if we can do it. Be 2 for 2 in this building on this spare. Oh, come on. Now that's just wicked. That's just unpleasant. Wasn't very nice at all. All right. Let's try that shot again and not throw it like an idiot. Better, a little far right, but a little better. Yeah. So this is where the low diff, not very good for you. Usually you don't want to circle the lane when you have a lower diff bowling ball in your hand. At least not for me. Some people can do it. Some people like to do it. But you got to keep tighter angles to get a ball to pick up in that spot. This may be a spot where getting around it would help. Let's see. Now I'll get around it instead of being forward. A little bit. Helped it a little bit. All right, so there you go. So there's that Obsession Tour. So just like I said, it looks really good. Now, once we got too far left, that lower diff, that core, it just didn't quite want it. The engine isn't big enough to quite get through the pins from those big steep angles. But anywhere right of there, it was phenomenal. It was super good for, now, I mean, I guess it would be different if there was a ton of friction, but we don't obviously have a ton of friction down lane or in the middle part of the lane from transition because it is a fresh pattern. All the friction was in the front. So it's not going to be good for immediately times where you immediately have to move left, but it's going to be real good for those later transition blocks or even, you know, some of those shorter patterns or high friction patterns that you have. I know a lot of bowlers talk about how their center hooks so much and they don't know how to counteract it. You know, IQ Tour was the ball to do it. Maybe this is the ball to do it now because it's really, really good through that early friction there. So you saw what it had, so make sure to get yours over at BowlerX.com. There's a link in the description. Or come up here and see me. I'm up at Waterford Lanes in Waterford, Michigan at BowlerX Pro Shop and Training Center. We'll drill one up for you here on the spot. So come and see me and we'll take care of it. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. We will see you guys next time.